Well, welcome to week 3. You should be pretty comfortable with your nutritional routine by now. And I'm kind of hoping that you got yourself moving a little bit more last week, or you inspired somebody else to get a little bit more active last week. This week, I want to talk a little bit about stress. Stress is a really big problem for most people. I don't know if you're one of those people. I know I'm constantly having to combat stress, and unfortunately, stress has become a norm. Chronic stress has become a norm in American society, and it has some real negative impacts on our health and on our weight. I'm sure you've heard of the hormone cortisol. It's often called the stress hormone. And what happens is when we get stressed out, when we feel that we're in a sense of danger, there's a heightened sense of anxiety, cortisol regulates blood sugar. And so it'll release blood sugar into the bloodstream, which is then meant to give you energy to run from danger. The problem with American life is most of the time the danger that we're feeling has more to do with making the mortgage or paying for our son or daughter's tuition or something along those lines that don't necessarily require us to run from imminent danger. And so what happens is that blood sugar then stays in the bloodstream, and then because it's not used, it then becomes stored as fat in the body. And so this is why you hear a lot about, chronic stress really impacting people's weights. And so one of the things that we want to be thinking about is overall health again. And chronic stress not only impacts weight, but it also lowers your immune system. It makes you much more prone to get sick than the average person. It's been linked to issues with heart. It's disruptive in the brain activity. There's just a lot of reasons why we really need to be proactive in getting this under control. And so there's two things I just want you to be thinking about. One, we already talked about exercise. So if you're using exercise as a form of stress management, very wise, because again, you're using up all that extra energy that has been roaring around your body because of the heightened level of stress. A couple more things to think about. Number one is sleep. I don't know how much sleep you're getting, but I think on average, most people are hitting around 5 to 6 hours. And there's a reason why our body needs 8 hours. But I want to talk specifically about 4 hours of sleep. The sleep that happens between 10 and 2, 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. What most people don't realize is that time frame is the time when the body goes into a restorative type sleep. Metabolism goes up, you're flushing out a lot of toxins, the antioxidant levels increased. Basically, melatonin begins to raise in the body after sunset. And so that 10 to 2, if you're getting to bed by 10, and you're staying asleep, through 2, you are going to get the greatest health benefits to your body. But it may mean adjusting some things for some folks, and it may mean turning the computer off or turning the TV off at, say, 8 or 9 o'clock at night so that all the extra light that comes from the TV and from the computer doesn't prevent that melatonin level to be raised. That melatonin is what's actually going to cue you to sleep. It's what cues the body. All right, start the restorative process. So we need that functioning well. So really want you to think about what can you do to make sure that you're getting to bed by 10 p.m. It is critically important. And you may feel like, no way, 10:30 happens and I got my second wind. Well, yeah, you're getting a second wind because all of that energy that's meant for metabolism in the body and the restorative process is now being diffused to mental activity because you're still awake. And so you're losing the benefits of really what the body, all that energy that the body is actually producing is meant to be restoring. And now we're wasting it on mental energy. So really want you to work on getting to sleep by 10. The second thing I want you to think about is something called the relaxation response. And this is one of the ways that you can also help manage that cortisol level in your body. We can't run it off most of the time. We're not running from danger. So what we need to do is shut off the brain. When we get stressed, it's like putting gas on the pedal of a car and we're roaring it up, vroom, 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 vroom. And then we keep the foot on the pedal all day long, and that's kind of what we're doing. And that's not good for a car, and it's not good for us as well. And so we need to put the brakes on. And the relaxation response is one of the ways to do that. And so you say, what's the relaxation response? It's really simple. It's focused, deep breathing. It's as simple as just getting yourself in a comfortable position, getting quiet, removing yourself from distractions, deciding that you're going to focus on one thing, okay? You're going to let your mind focus on one thing. It could be that there is a picture on the wall that you're going to focus on. It could be that you're going to close your eyes and just focus on the sensation of the air going in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. It could be that you're going to repeat a phrase that is of particular importance to you. But you're going to pick one thing that you really want to focus on, and then you're going to breathe slowly. And when you breathe in and you breathe out, it's like putting the brakes on the brain. And it's like putting the brakes on the stress hormones. And it just causes everything to go back to homeostasis, to that natural level place that it's supposed to be. And take some work and it takes some practice. And I guarantee you the first few times that you do it, your just thoughts are going to be coming into your mind. And it's okay. You know, don't judge the thoughts. Don't get upset about it. Just let the thought kind of come and go like a cloud in the sky, and then return back to the thing that you're focusing on. And the more that you do that, the easier it's going to be. There are just tons of studies out there about the benefits of the relaxation response and deep breathing. And I'd recommend get on Google and just do some searching if you want to learn a little bit more about that. But as far as, you regulating your stress, just recognizing, hey, this is another thing that is important. And when we're, pursuing optimal health, let's get ourselves to bed by 10 p.m. so that we can actually get the most benefit of the restorative sleep, which means get off the computer and the TV by 8 or 9, okay? And then let's take some time each day, or when you're feeling that rush of stress, just stop and enter into the relaxation response. Put the brakes on, calm down, do some deep breathing. I'm actually going to leave you a link in the email as well. There's an app that I've used to kind of help me with the breathing. It can help me set some time goals. It gives me something to visually focus on. And it also helps pace the breathing. And I just think it's a great app. Again, I don't get paid for any of this stuff. These are just the things that I've used that I found that work. So I'll put a link to that into the email. So if that's something that can kind of help you, get you started, I want to help you do that. For a lot of people, it's not the most natural thing in the world in the beginning, although it can be over time. So if you'll be patient and keep practicing, there are going to be enormous benefits internally, in terms of your biological systems as well as your psychological systems. So let's beat stress this week.